I think for me, yeah, especially because I'm on this journey and whatever, no, we're all on a journey, but I just feel like what Banks said earlier, if I feel like this today, I should be able to go and feel like that today, put the song out even when I'm not feeling like that anymore, and it's gonna reach someone that might have been feeling that I felt in the studio. Do you get what I'm trying? Whether it's a good feeling, a bad feeling, whatever, not. It's not about, I don't even think it's about good and bad. I think it's just about feeling in general and relatability and just letting people realise that they're not alone in their emotions. Do you get what I mean? Because I could put out a song today and it could reach someone that doesn't have someone to talk to, but they feel like they're talking to me. Do you get what I mean? So I just feel like it's just about that. It's just about being human and existing and letting your emotions come and go, putting it into art, giving it to the world so that people can just feel a little bit less alone. That's what I feel like.
Serious.
You know what's mad deep as well? So just to touch on that. I've had more people message me now yo, bro, thank you for the music you're releasing. I was going to commit suicide. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How do you even do that? A lot of it was more of yo, bro, I saw your testimony. Thank you for your testimony and your journey. So I'm thinking, if it wasn't for the journey, you wouldn't have nothing to account for you to be he went from here to here, from depression to now he's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have hope because of the journey kind of thing. So it's good to you can't remove, again, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's just part of the story kind of thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Time tells, man, time tells.
You don't have to kill the version of yourself that you used to be in order to exist as the version of yourself that you are now. Do you know what I mean? They still gotta be there for someone else. Do you get what I mean? You gotta personify your ego and leave it where it was and then just move on in a different directions. As artists, we know that creativity and our existence of what it is fluid. Today I could wear all black, tomorrow I might wear all blue. The next day I might wear all yellow. It's just based off of how I feel that day, but what? Just because I'm wearing all yellow today, I don't remember the days that I was wearing all black.
And I think as well, I think strict cultural religion is the opposite of that because it stifles creativity. Because I think it stifles creativity, and me, I like words. I like all of that stuff, and I like to just think until sometimes it hurts my head. Because do you know what it is? Yeah. Do you know what it is? It's sometimes I think people that are living in a strict religious thing that stifles creativity, I think they're not thinking. Because I look at robots, I'll get my Bible out. Okay, I look at Psalms. I'm Psalm 2, Psalm 3, Psalm. I'm okay, cool. So this was written in that year. Oh, that was written 3 years after, that was written 5 years after. Okay, we've got one psalm where David's talking about how anxious he was and how he feels like dying. End psalm. And I'm like, hang about. The psalm ended with David, who wrote it in the Bible, with him feeling like dying at the end of the psalm.
Yeah.
And if someone was writing songs today and was I'm a Christian artist, for example, and sent that song out, they'll be like, why is there no hope in this story? It's
exactly.
But I was expressing my human experience. You know, I wrote a song called I Told Him about one of my students that almost died. And I was like, when I write the story, it's going to end how it ended, because that's what happened. I'm not gonna listen to anyone, any faith person who's like, yo, man, you need to make it end on a good ending because there's always joy in the morning. No, when the morning comes, I'll write that song. I'm not in the morning right now.
Yeah.
So I think even when you're looking at albums, I feel that's one of the reasons why I like to stay away from that, because it's I can't allow the creativity that God's given me to be stifled because of your cultural opinions.
Well, is that why you don't like projects and stuff like that?
I love projects. I'm saying that's why I don't like to put my art in religious spaces.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't like to put it in. I don't like it to market myself in that, because if I do that, a lot of the staunch religious people would have looked at my previous work and be like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but so though.
Because no, it's not necessarily so. Because it's
you need to do a project
with
with
my
that.
assignment.
You need to do a project on what you see. I think you need to do something a bit more to do with the faith as a project, separately from what you do.
Yeah, 100%.
Just for you.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. For me.
Yeah, you definitely
I just feel like don't
that.
let those who don't have the platform or the gift dictate what you do with the gift.
Yeah.
Because you never know. There could be someone out there. Imagine there's a 15-year-old boy that is exactly like you, grew up in a religious household and is properly in his faith. but is scared to use his gift because of what people that are in faith will say about him. There's so much people out there in their faith, but they're just not doing it. It's not even by the book anymore. It's by the culture. Religion's influenced by culture. That's all it is. So like, don't let that like stop you, because there could be millions of people out there that are waiting for something like that that you will never, and only you can do it. Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting. I think when I hear that, that's encouraging. But then I look at it and think, that's why it's a blessing that we have algorithms, because that's exactly what's happening. Like, the people that have faith, who are a bit more flexible in the thinking, that's my main, a lot of that are the main people that come to me. Because they're like, I like what you're doing because you're still in culture and I know you got faith, as opposed to going all the way. So that's kind of like my sweet spot, so to speak,
That's
that's my niche.
Yeah. No, I understand it.
I was gonna say something a bit off here, but do you know something that really upsets me? You know when people find God and then they're like, oh yeah, I don't want to do music no more at all. That proper burns me. Or they don't want to do their job. Like, they say they're an actor, they don't want to act anymore. Obviously, I get people have to do what's right for them and their mental health, but I just feel like God is the ultimate creator. And if you feel like he made us in his image, we're also our own little creators. And that's why we're here. We're here to build and create our lives. Like, he gave us free will to make our own choices. So, I don't know, it just upsets you, kind of like, you're so talented, bro.
I understand what you're saying, but I also feel like you got to remember that God wrote everything. So the same gift that he gave you, he knew that you was going to decide to wake up one day and not use it. But just because you don't use it in the same capacity doesn't mean that you're not using it, because creating teaches you many things. Just like how maths, being able to add numbers together teaches you how to add things up, like just in general. Like what Bliss was saying about when he was reading the Psalm of David, okay, that was written that year and that was written. That's adding, but it's just not maths. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
True.
So with stuff like that, when people decide to just stop music, stop acting, stop whatever, just because they're no longer online, they're no longer documenting it, they're no longer putting it out there. But there could be a little student right in their hand that comes up after them, and you will just never know that it came from that person. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's when it works though, because I feel like you might be talking about wasted potential, right? Like almost
and
like
just
that.
Maybe as a supporter, it's just like, I wish you could still do this. Like, but also as well, like for instance, you changing and doing gospel, I respect that. I still love the fact that, and no one has to do it. There's no one way, but you're still using your voice in a way that is comfortable for you and it's authentic to you, because this is where you're at in your journey.
I went through the same thing where, when I was like, I'm gonna take my faith serious, I was like, I'm just gonna quit music, because I couldn't see a way that music will still bang, and obviously, again, ego-wise, I didn't think people would still listen, to be fair. And then I went to church, sat at the back, and the first thing, bear in mind I'm late, so preaching should have been done. I've just come to see my mum. And obviously, when I'm sitting at the back here, the preacher goes, whatever you left, go back and try again with God. I said, sure. And he ended the sermon.
Wow.
He said, So then obviously in my head I'm thinking, that's not even coincidence. That's written. Do you get what I mean? And I think for me, if I didn't hear that, I probably would have still quit. I even actually put it, I think I put it on Twitter at the time. I said, like, I'm done with music and I had a great time, blah, 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 And a lot of that is just like, when I look back and after going through therapy and counseling and stuff like that, you start realizing a lot of that stuff is to actually get attention. And a lot of that stuff is to actually like make people look at you because you felt like you didn't get a look in before. It's mad. And I think that's why like Bible standalone is great, but like you can't miss the fact that it says in the multitude of counselors, a man is made established. So, and obviously in that part, you need to have multitudes of counselors. You need to have more than one person, because obviously still the Bible says that obviously we prophesy in part. So I might catch part 1, you might catch part 2. You know what I mean? 3, 4, 5, and that's just how you do it kind of thing. So obviously you still need to get like therapy, counseling, because you then start understanding why I'm actually doing this. So a lot of people, even though they might have left saying, oh yeah, feel like this is God and da-da-da-da-da. No offense, but to not hear God for this long and hear him so sharp here, I think like maybe you should also leave space for the fact that it might be your flesh. Leave space for the fact that there might be something going on that I don't know. Because Peter, all the disciples walking with Jesus, and yet still Jesus turned to them and said, you guys don't know what spirit you're of.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? So how much more us who think that we're close to Jesus and he's not standing next to us, we don't know what spirit we're of. You know what I mean? So it's always good, you have to test yourself. and check yourself. So
What's your reason why?
yeah,
You get me?
your why.